Hi everyone, now I'm about to tie this fly here, Hector's redhead. Now I recently filmed and uploaded the video on this fly, the basset fly. The story behind these patterns was that originally I gave them to trout and salmon for a promotion for trout, based in Scotland. And they asked me to tie 3 flies that would suit the whole lochs, the lochs of Scotland. And add or do something with it that's slightly different, and these were the patterns I came up with. And I basically used some modern fibre materials within them, and they all worked extremely well. I remember at the time, because this goes back to the 90s, and people were like, they didn't know who tied them because my name wasn't beside them, so I was bothered. I didn't do it for that. I did it for just a bit of fun and to help the magazine at the time, and I just messed about with some basic colours, basic materials and patterns, and that's all I did. Now the Hector's redhead, now the story behind this one, the reason I'm tying it, well, I used to work in the Glasgow Angling Centre, and there was a gentleman that came in there, a friend, Andy, and we were always talking about, and I got an odd email for Andy, and when I held these up and he saw the Hector's redhead, his friend's been looking for this pattern for years. When they got it free in the magazine and they couldn't find it, so they didn't know where it came from or who tied it, and so when he seen that I'd held it up and it was one of the flies I did for the magazine, he was blown away. So, and he asked me could I actually film it for him, as his friend Scott, his name, would love to see it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tie the fly, and I'm going to tie up some because it's a good pattern. And I'll tell you, this fly tied for the sea trout, obviously wild brown trout it was originally for, even salmon. I could easily catch a salmon with this fly. So it's certainly worth tying in a few different sizes, but I'm going to tie it in a size 12. Now, the hook's well, this is a heavy wire one. This one here's the Full and Mill Competition Heavyweight. It's a good strong hook, and you can easily land a salmon on it. I've done it before. So anyway, thread, I'm just going to wax it. It's a black thread. This is a Uni 80. So I'm just going to start at the head, just come down maybe 3 or 4 mil, and then remove the waist. And the way down, I'm going to tie in this flat silver tinsel. It's a proper tinsel I'm using. Though if you haven't got that, you could use either wire or use an oval tinsel. It's up to yourself. Now I'm going to wind the thread down until it's midway between the point of the hook and the barb. So if I let the thread go, you'll see it's sitting right between the point of the hook and the barb of the hook. Then I'm going to come up about, we need to be touching turns by the way, at least enough to get 3 turns of the tinsel. And that will form the tag, and then the body was a modern material at the time. It was the SLF. It's actually, it stands for, as you can see there, synthetic living fibre. This was originally sold by Partridge. It's a Davie McPhail product, and but now Wapsie do this now. It's the same. It's a great sub for seals fur, and it's easy to dub, really good. Now that packet actually goes back to the 90s. That goes a wee back to there. So I'm going to lightly dub it on. I want it quite loose, I don't want it too tight. So once we get it anchored to the hook, and we can tighten or slacken off if we need to, just build up a right kind of shape. And you want to come up to about 2 mil or so from the eye, take away the excess. And we'll go back that turn just to tighten that up. Draw back any fibre going forward, and then put a turn of thread in front. I'm going to bring the tinsel up. Now I'm just going to pull some of the fibres back before I start to wind. So there'll go 1, 2, these are in line, 3, and then we start to rib the fly around about 4 times. Draw back the fibres, let's go forward again, and then bring your tinsel up and then lock it in. Make sure it's nice and tight. You can bend and break away your tinsel. Got 1 fibre there, best to take it out just now. Now what I'm going to do here is look at the Velcro. I'm just going to lightly lift out some of the fibres. A wee rough fly, as they say, and that's what you're wanting. Bit of life in it. And you just roll your fingers through the body. A couple of extra long fibres there, just take them out. That's fine. Now, excuse me. The under wing of the fly is the golden pheasant tippet. So I'm just lining up the ends here. Just hold the tips of the feather and then come in, cut away enough to form the underwing or the wing of the fly. So basically what we're going to do is tie it so it's in line with the back of the hook. It's there. Just come around with a loose turn or two and tighten up. That's fine. And trim away the waste. And then just a wee bit of wax just to make sure everything's nice and tight. And then what we want to do is tie in our hackle. We've got the dyed black hen. So not too short a fibre, you want a nice length. First thing we do is take away the fluff. And then I'm going to tie it in by the tip. These are just hen feathers, or feathers from an Indian neck. Now 2 or 3 turns to catch it on, fold it back, come back over that a couple of turns. Just slip your fingers back, there's the tip of the feather. You can then trim this away, there we are. That locks it in nice and tight. And then we want to wind our hackle, just fold the fibre back. Take your thread down a wee bit, and then put as much hackle as you feel on, it's up to yourself. I wouldn't go too heavy, probably about maybe 3 turns or so, that's fine. Just bring the thread up beside it, bend the hackle, so it basically allows you to get the thread turn in. The hackle pliers away. Now, it's really thin, the stem of these feathers, so I'm going to fold it back and then just tidy up. There's the hackle there, we can I'm just going to trim it away. See how it looks, that's fine. Now that's a good enough fly as itself. Now for the red head part of the fly, I'm going to be using this floss here. This is a Glo-Brite floss number 4, which is basically it's a fluorescent red. Now it's a thin floss, and you need 4 strands for this fly. And then what I do is I put them together and I simply brush them. So it binds them together like that. Now one of the easiest ways to get it to, or the strongest ways so it doesn't fall out, is to tie it on. The length is, well, it's really up to yourself, you want to see it. So a good 3 or 4 mil, just hold it on my side. Come down to right the eye really, and then fold it back, and from the eye up, just build the head up with the thread. That basically folds it in, it's never going to fall out. And then just leave that as and then get straight in and wet finish. Just 3 or 4 turns. At the same time I'm forming the head. Trim away your thread. Just you can bring out the floss, just press the hackle down. Obviously want to cut it the same length. There we are. There you go, that's fine. Puff it out. It's amazing how well this works, this type of doing this in these flies. And then it's just a matter of varnishing the head, and that's you, that's it finished. And that's Hector's redhead. A bit of fun, and I'll tell you, if you do tie these up, you'll not go far wrong. And it's worth changing the floss colour as well. Red's the best, but you could easily change it to like a lime green or a chartreuse, or basically any colour you feel it might work, just to highlight that head area. So there you go, that's the Hector's redhead, this fly. So Andy, Scott, I hope you like it, and now you've got the part and you can go back to fishing it. Anyway, thanks for watching, and until next time.